In this video, we are going to install Android Studio together. To do that, go to Google and type in Android Studio. You're going to go to developer.android.com/studio. We're going to download the tools that are going to allow us to profile and debug our Android app so that we can see the logs in real time. Go ahead and accept the terms and download Android Studio for Windows. Once you've done that, go ahead and open up the app. It will take about a minute or two. I'm going to pause the video and I'll see you once it's opened. When it finishes downloading, it's going to prompt you to make changes to your computer. Go ahead and select yes. Once you've done that, you can X out of the web page, and let's look at the install wizard. From here, we're going to install it in Program Files Android under Android Studio. And if you have a previous version installed, let's go ahead and uninstall it. Select Next. And if you have an old version, it's going to uninstall it. From here, we're going to choose our components. So for the components to install, we're going to install Android Studio and the Android virtual device. Go ahead and install. And from here, we have a start menu folder. We can just select Android Studio and go ahead and install this. This will take several minutes to complete, so I'm going to pause the video and I'll see you when it's almost finished. When that's completed, go ahead and select Next. And from here, complete Android Studio setup. Let's go ahead and start Android Studio. Go ahead and give that a moment to pop up. Once you have Android Studio open, we are going to select Profile or Debug APK. From here, you're going to select the APK that you've built. So before we continue, let's go ahead and build the APK. So go to File, Build Settings, and let's build this APK. I'm going to call this Demo Dungeon Escape, and it's going to be saved in the Course 3 Assets folder, or my projects folder. Go ahead and use highest installed, and I'll see you when your APK has finished. Go ahead and pause the video. Okay, once you have your Demo Dungeon Escape APK created in your project here, let's go back to Android Studio and select Profile or Debug APK. From there, we're going to select our Unity project, find it. So for me, I'm using the Course 3 Assets import, and here's my demo APK. Let's open that up. And it's going to disassemble our project. Now, once it opens, you'll be presented with this page here. This is Android Studio. From here, what we want to do is look at the logcat. Now, inside of logcat, if you have your Android device connected, this is everything that your Android device is doing. So as I unlock information and as I even launch the app here, it's going to spit out all of the data for what I'm doing. So as I even play my game and collect things and go into the shop, any logs are going to be tossed around in this here. Now we'll get to filtering this in just a moment, but there's a few steps you need to do in order to actually see these results. Now the first thing is you need to select your Android device. Now if you drop this down and you don't see your device as an option to be selected, you probably need to install the latest drivers. To do that, head on over to samsung.com/us/support/downloads. You can also alternately just type in Google Samsung Mobile Downloads, and it will take you to this page. What you want to do is you want to select mobile, you're going to select phones, and you're going to choose your device. I am on a Galaxy S, and then you're going to select which version. So for me, I'm on an S5, and for the carrier, it really doesn't matter. You can just select any of these. For my device, it is a Verizon carrier phone, but if you're on an AT&T carrier, even if it's not activated, just select whichever one you're using. From there, you'll confirm, and it will download. It will then download your software. So here it says software, go ahead and download that. Hit continue, it's going to download it. Accept the terms and run that application. That's going to basically install the drivers so that your Windows PC and Android Studio can then detect your Android device. After you successfully install that, it should then prompt you automatically that, hey, we found your device, and it will assign it right here. The next thing we need to do in order to get these logs to show is we need to put your mobile device in developer mode. So to do that, there's a tooltip at developer.android.com. And if we go to Google here, let's open up Google and type in Android, we'll say Android mobile developer mode. We need to put our phone in that mode. It doesn't come standard like that. So here, let's find, there's a website here called developer.android.com/studio, dev options. This is what we want. So enable developer options and debugging. So to do this, the first thing you have to do is open up the settings app, then select system. From there, you're going to scroll down to about phone, and then scroll down until you find build number. You need to click build number 7 times. As you tap it a few times, it will pop up saying you're about to enter developer mode. Keep tapping it until you get to the 7th tap. Once you've done that, you've enabled developer options. Return to the previous screen and you'll find developer options. Within there, you need to make sure that you check, if you scroll down, you want to enable USB debugging. It's going to prompt you to allow this computer to access this phone, hit yes, and then we're good to go. You should also note that there are some options within this developer option here to simulate environments. For instance, you could take control of the network. You can force your phone into LTE, 4G, 3G speeds to determine how that app works on those different networks. So once you have your phone in developer mode, you can then head back into Android Studio here, and automatically you should then see everything start printing out. Once you have everything printing out here, we're basically going to create a Unity filter so that we only see information relevant to Unity. So to do that, over here it says no filters. If you select that, we can then edit filter configuration and we can add a new filter. So let's create a new filter by adding this plus sign here. And let's call it Unity. And the tag we're looking for is simply Unity. Hit OK. And you'll see here that in my game here, if I were to clear this, when I launch my app, any Unity logs or debug.logs that we have in our game are going to be printed out here. So I'm going to launch my app and I'm going to attack our moss giant. And as you can see here, it says we have a log in here, hit moss giant enemy. So debug, moss giant enemy, and so forth. And then here I collected a diamond. And if we go down now to our shop, I'm going to then open up our ad experience and see if we can get a log output for completing the ad. All right, so I'm going to clear the console here. I'm about to open up our shop. I hopped into it. All right, and I'm going to click here for 100 Gs. I'm watching an ad right now. You'll see here, Unity ads opening, new ad. Sending start event 2. And Unity ads event, sending third quarterly event, ad event, sending view event. So you can actually see in real time what's happening during the Unity ads. And once I've watched it, it takes me back in. It says closing Unity ads on unit. As well as here is our log for showing rewarded ad. Now, one thing that it didn't do here is it didn't print out my message for debug.log, you finished the event, or you finished the ad. Now, the reason for that is because it's actually not told to print anything out. I only added a comment. Comments aren't printed out anywhere. It's just for your own sake inside the C# code. So let's actually add a debug.log here that says you finished the ad. You finished the ad. And let's say here's 100 gems. We'll save this. I need to now rebuild the APK and rerun it on my device. So I'm going to pause the video while I rebuild the APK and get it back on the device, and I'll see you when I'm at the shop again. Okay, so I have reinstalled the app on the phone. You can see here that instantly the profiler is detecting my actions. So I'm just jumping around here. All right, so I'm about to hit our shop, and I'm going to select our ad. We'll be able to see the same process. So here we go. I'm going to clear the console. And I'm going to click here for 100 Gs on my phone. You'll see here that it says showing rewarded ad, which it is. It's showing me an 8-second video ad. And then here, Unity of ads, you can see here once it stops. And once it finishes, check this out. You finish the ad, here's 100 gems. So with the rewarded ad, so now that that's working, which is amazing, with the rewarded ad, if you wanted to determine that they skipped out early, there is no actual way to do it because you can't skip this ad. So this log is never getting called. This log is more so for the traditional video ad that you can skip after 5 seconds. And this one here is good to keep just in case the video fails, which it should never fail if we are checking if it's ready. So if you did want to find out though, one thing that you could do is simply just have an if statement here. You can simply just check if the result that we received, so if result equals the show result dot finished, then do this. Else if, you can check for failed, which is best practice, but otherwise you can have if the result is finished, else you can assume that it didn't finish for either it failed or they skipped it or they closed it early. Else debug.log, you didn't watch the whole video. So no gems for you. All right, so that's an alternative to using the switch statement. And both methods will work just fine. Now we can finish our game logic and move forward with submitting this to the Play Store.